Hi everyone, welcome to Shivers. Today we are reviewing the new movie Thanksgiving that came out last Friday, November 17th, 2023. This movie is created and directed by Eli Roth, but the trailers are super cheesy, so I knew it could go one of two ways: super gory and great, or a total flop. The story itself revolves around a group of spoiled teenagers in the town of Plymouth, Massachusetts, which is where the Pilgrims first settled and had their first Thanksgiving, which is true. Our main character, Jessica, and her father own a huge store, kind of like a Walmart, that decides to start Black Friday early on Thanksgiving night. The locals are not happy about this, but a huge crowd of people attend the Black Friday opening and things get crazy, with a bunch of accidental deaths due to the huge crowd and poor protection from security. Jessica's friends sort of make a joke about it and post a video of the mob and the deaths online simply for views. We flash forward 1 year to the next Thanksgiving, and the locals are protesting the store, saying it shouldn't be allowed to be open for Black Friday at all, and that is just overall distasteful. Jessica tries to convince her dad to keep it closed and just enjoy Thanksgiving, but of course, greed leads the way, and he says it's staying open no matter what. Jessica and her friends go about life, but are tagged in an Instagram post saying that they are invited to a private Thanksgiving dinner hosted by John Carver, one of the original Pilgrims and a staple character around town, with people wearing masks of his face. John Doe/John Carver then starts killing people who were causing issues in the previous year's Black Friday shopping, basically targeting anyone who was at the store and caused a death or did nothing to help other people from there. This turns the film into more of a whodunit, with everyone being a suspect. And the kills from John Carver get wilder and wilder. He adds more people to the table, tagging them in Instagram, and the cops are really unable to help or trace the location, forcing the teens to basically figure it out on their own. The teens then, of course, get picked off one by one, but only one of them is killed, and the rest are placed around the table of the other people that are dead. In our second to final showdown, Jessica and 3 of her friends are at the table with her father, all still alive, and John Carver brings out the greedy stepmother of Jessica, who basically started the whole Black Friday debacle in the first place by convincing Jessica's dad to open the store. John Carver cooked the stepmother in an oven and cuts her leg and tries to feed this piece of meat to the dad, but of course he pukes, and then John Carver is happy that the man makes a fool of himself, but it makes you hold your breath, kind of, to watch it. Jessica escapes and is chased by John Carver to a warehouse where she finds the sheriff and her ex-boyfriend in the room, believing that John Carver is her ex-boyfriend, who is doing this out of vengeance since he got hurt at the Black Friday event. She speaks with the sheriff and, spoiler alert, finds out that John Carver is actually the sheriff. They get into a fight, and Jessica and her ex-boyfriend escape, burning down the building with the sheriff inside. As the sun comes up and the firefighters work to put out the fire, they say, of course, no one could have survived in this huge fireball blast. And that's how the movie ends. Typical Friday the 13th style of, the killer is still alive. Giving this a rating based on the Shiver scale. For the story itself, I would give it a 4 out of 5. I thought that it was very fun to bring a new slasher to a holiday, and something that is, of course, been done before with a killer and teenagers and all of that, but I liked it. For originality, I also would give it a 4. You really don't see any Thanksgiving killer stories. There are a lot of stories that are done and movies that are created about Black Friday and all of that shopping, but it still makes it pretty original to do a slasher. For the acting, I would give it a 3 out of 5. There were very apparent times where you could tell people were reading off of a script and it was just not very natural. So I think they could have done a better job with picking better actors, but the teenagers were definitely teenagers. Even you look them up, I think one of them is born in like 2005. So like you're 18. For production, I would give it a 4 out of 5. It's a big movie. There's a lot of actors, a lot of moving pieces. Again, it's directed and created by Eli Roth, so you know it's going to follow sort of the traditional horror story platform. And then for scares, it's not a scary movie by any stretch. It's, fun. But because of the gore, I'm going to give Scares a 4 out of 5. So putting all that together, we get a 3.9 out of 5 for this movie. If you go on Rotten Tomatoes right now, it does have an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is shocking. All in all, I thought this movie was good and was definitely a good time. It felt fun. It's truly satisfying, and it satisfied the need for a good slasher movie and something that felt campy without feeling cheesy. With all of the kills being over the top and the gore being at another level for a slasher movie, it made a somewhat predictable story more engaging and enthralling and truly more enjoyable. I would recommend this movie. I think it's fun. If you're just bored on a Saturday afternoon and want to watch a slasher, I would watch it. I would recommend it. There's not really too much of a deeper meaning to this type of movie, but it's fun, and I enjoyed it. So I hope you enjoy it as well. Let me know what you think about the movie if you've seen it. Put it in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. And if you haven't seen it, what do you kind of expect? But hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoy the movie, and stay tuned for the next review.